All right, ultimately I decided to dispense with the EGR valve on this stock intake, and it goes here. I bought a block-off kit, but it comes with bolts, and clearly we have studs here, so these have got to come out. Not sure how well this is going to go. I'm going to go ahead and try to weld this nut onto here, and then try to back it off that way. Over the years, the heat from the exhaust stream coming into here probably welded chemically it's this steel bolt into that aluminum, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. We may destroy the manifold getting this off of here. Alright, that's what that looks like, and we were successful. We are moving that stud out of the manifold. Alright, we got our studs out of there, and we got this block off plate in place, and went ahead and painted this thing up with a little brighter color, duplicolor aluminum. I had a cast coat aluminum on there. It was kind of dull though, so I went with the bright aluminum, and I think that looks a lot nicer. So right now what I'm doing is I'm mocking up all the little accessories and stuff that need to go back on the engine. The engine originally came with engine hoists, so that one goes there, and then there's a smaller one back here on the corner. I believe it went like that. Certainly doesn't go like that because it doesn't sit flat. Doesn't sit flat. It might go like that. I gotta go back and look at my video when I disassembled it. It doesn't go there. Anyway, I'll figure that out here in a moment. And this is the vacuum setup for the brake booster, and it bolts to these two manifold holes right here, and this goes to the carburetor. So I think these valve cover, I think these heads are maybe a little higher than the stock ones. So it looks like this is going to be rubbing. I may have to get the tubing bender out and fiddle with that a little bit. That remains to be seen. I think before I go down that road though, I need to get the carburetor off the workbench over there and get it over here, take the top off of it, make sure it's still okay, you know, blow some air through it or something like that, get it on top of the motor and start mocking things up. So anyway, that's what I got going on right now. A lot of little detail things going on. So all right, I've got her all taped up. I deliberated on whether or not I should paint the heads. I thought to myself, well, I'd like to have some blue heads, but I've already got them on the motor and it's too much trouble. So I'm going to leave them bare aluminum. And I made the call, so that's what we're doing. And everything else I got taped up, so let's make it Chevy blue. All right, it's already got oil in it. I'm not going to turn this motor upside down again, so she's staying upright for the duration. So I guess that'll make things a little harder on me, but that'd be all right. All right, there she is, all painted up. Got everything, clearly got everything taped off that we didn't want blue, I hope. So we're gonna move that back into position and let that dry. And then we'll proceed on with our staging efforts. Well, Rembrandt, I am not, but let's see how well we did. All right, I think I got all the tape off. That's everything I wanted to paint and everything I didn't. All right, there she is, all painted up. Again, decided not to paint the heads simply because it's, well, difficult. And got that little glove in there to cover up that hole there. And got the plugs in there to cover up those holes. I don't know about you guys, but I really like it. It's like eye candy. This thing's pretty. So yeah, man. I've got more parts coming in. I got all of the new fan belts in. I got gasket and a thermostat arriving as soon as well. Of course, didn't paint the pump here. I just thought that would look stupid. So I left it bare. It'll probably rust, but okay. Yeah, and the original intake coated with some bright aluminum paint looks really nice. This is a cast iron piece, this little nipple right here, so I painted it blue. That's original to the car. This one is not. That's stainless steel. I forget. I don't know what happened to the original one. It's gone. EGR block off plate kit. So no more EGR. This is for the choke. So when we put the car choke back together, that's what'll go there. It's got these little tubes that go down in there, and the hot air makes the choke work. Anyway, got the distributor in there, covering up the dust hole there. Got the back of the motor painted up as well, except for that the business end right here where the flex plate goes. So, or flywheel, not flex plate. So yeah, man, this thing's pretty, man. I'm telling you. Of course, you know, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say. The next thing I got to order is a radiator. So I've pretty much narrowed it down to either be cool or cold case. I'm just not going to pay the price that DeWitt's wants. Just not going to happen. Alright, seeing as how we can't do much else here for next week or so, I'm going to do a few odds and ends. So we got this spark plug wire bracket reinstalled here on the freshly painted block. Got the engine mount up there and got some new grade 8 1/4x20 bolts up there. And holy cow, it's a brand new engine. Alright, let's do the other side. Alright, got the other side button up there. Got the V-shaped bracket on the passenger side, and got the two spark plug heat shields installed here. The driver's side didn't come with two shields that looked like that. It had different stuff. The air heater for the breather was over here, and a couple other things were over here. They used a different setup, but I did see some heat shields similar to these here, a set of 4 you could get, and so you could put 2 over here as well. So I think I'm going to do that on this side, since I don't think I'm going to run that big cover. I'd have to highly modify the cover to wrap it over the headers in order to supply the tube up to the stock breather. I'm going to run the stock breather, but the hot air tube from the exhaust manifold, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that just yet. So, and these are the items I was talking about on the driver's side. So I thought about running this, but gee whiz, I'd have to mangle this thing up pretty badly to get it on there. And same way with this. I mean, I could put this on the engine and make it work, but man, I really don't want to. That's a big hassle. So, but hey, let's go ahead and put these spark plug holders on next. And this passenger side holder's got a little notch in the side of it, so it just goes there like that. We'll bolt that down real quick. All right, we've got the little spark plug holders on there. Pretty easy. And one thing about these headers that I found out I was pretty disappointed with, to be honest with you. These are 3/16 inch flanges on these hooker headers, and well, let's be honest, they're kind of cheap. And the way you can identify a cheap header is if you see the weld on the inside like this, and if you see some marketing stuff that says, oh, the weld is on the inside to make it bite into the gasket and make a seal, blah, 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 wouldn't it? No, that's not true. That's bullcrap. That is because they didn't want to weld on this side, because welding over here is a much more expensive and time-consuming manufacturing process. So they can weld it over here and then grind it flat, and it'll work. You know, it'll work okay. The best thing to do is buy better headers that have a much thicker flange, welded here, and this is completely flat. I'm not going to drop another $800 on side pipe headers, so I'm going to run them. And of course the holes didn't line up. I had to spend a lot of time filling and pre-staging and clearancing these headers for these heads. So I had to drill out some of those holes a little bit and move them around a little bit. So that took several hours, actually. I had several hours I wish I could take back, but oh well. I think that's going to do it for this weekend. I am going to take this carburetor off and throw it on the Cadillac here and stage it over there. I'm not going to do that this weekend, though. I'm taking some time off. Going to take the motorhome out and go visit some friends and have a little fun. So we're not doing a whole lot of car stuff this weekend. When we get back, we'll continue on with staging the engine. Go ahead and put the wires on and get them routed and make it pretty and all that kind of stuff. But as I said earlier, really the next thing is to go ahead and get the transmission connected. Now what we'll do is we'll take the engine off of the engine stand. We're using the hoist. And then I've got a little roll-around engine cart stand. We'll bolt the engine to that, and we can use that to do our belt housing to crankshaft alignment check, because the input shaft of this new Tremec transmission cannot be off from the center of the crankshaft by more than 5/1000ths of an inch. If it does, it'll cause all kind of problems, void the warranty, and the world will come to an end. But you have to do that check. And there's a whole process to follow. It's fairly complicated, and we'll go through it in another video. But for now, I think we're going to call this a weekend. I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video, don't forget to click that little bell down below. You guys know where it is. You guys have a good one, and remember to enjoy restoring your classic C3 Corvette L82 or L48, but do a good job. They deserve it.